Hello, this is my match review of the Halifax versus Cavalry game. Halifax Wanderers nil, Cavalry nil. And despite being a nil-nil, it was anything but boring. Let me tell you this. We had a lot of action going on between the nets, even though nothing was ended up in the back of them. There was goalkeeper masterclass from Kieran Basket and Marco Magic Fingers Carducci. It started out like with us pressing the attack for like a good 15 to 20 minutes. That kind and holding our shape when we weren't doing that. That then JGL and Fumpo Madwe ended up coming off with what I hope are simple knocks that only kept them out from like the later portions of that game, because they're pretty strong where they are. I really like what Kieran Basket did, and without the level, eventually over time he had more and more to do, especially once JGL had to come off for Lamoth and Mondway had to come off for Ludwig Amla. But when he was called upon, he answered. He made some good saves. He knew when to get off his line and stay on his line, and he directed the back line pretty well. The midfield was rock solid. They didn't put a foot wrong up until JGL fell, and even then Lamoth did decently. The back line were sound. Campagna, in his first full game, and what I think is his first full game, did an amazing job. And I have a lot of faith that he'll be the best center back, our number one center back. I wouldn't be surprised, because he may end up giving Santos a good challenge in terms of that, because it used to be comfortably Santos, and Campagna controlled every moment in the back line, and it was great to see from a new signing actually coming good. Here's hoping it's not a fluke, but it really doesn't look like it from here. And Ruby did pretty well too, especially under the guidance of Campagna, but he helped on his own merits. Kieran Basket doing so strongly, and Campagna and Ruby, they were going to have a hard time putting anything in the back of the net, and they got a lot more opportunities to do so as we started getting shakier in the second half, but we still held the line. The midfield did beautifully. As I said again, Rampersad had one of the best performances of this year. He was in control big time. JGL was, along with him, meant we were basically winning the midfield up until JGL had to come off, and still holding it reasonably well once that injury to JGL happened. Polisi was also very nice. Up front, Mondway was creating what chances we could create. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish. Big surprise there. But we had a lot of moments, including a wonderful thing where JGL had sent a ball right up to the front. Mondway and Fernandez almost put it in, and it would have been an amazing goal. But Magic Fingers Carducci, well, there's a reason I call him Magic Fingers Carducci. He has got some of the safest hands in this league. And that showed, and unfortunately for us, that showed in this game. Salter, I love Salter, but I have to face facts. He had a stinker today. I don't expect this to be the norm for him, but he really was not where he needed to be. a lot of the time. And if he could sort his positioning out, and if he could get himself into the right areas a bit more, we probably could have put something in. This wasn't his best game. But we got away from Cavalry, who had given us a lot of grief on the road and ruined what I thought was 3 points in the previous home fixture with a last-minute corner. This time, we were at least defensively ready for them, not so much up front. But it wasn't so much that we were failing, it's that Cavalry were too solid both in goal and in the back, which is important for them because in the mid they didn't. Again, it took a major component of our midfield going off injured for us to go down to being able to hold the mid rather than dominate it. Cavalry had, yeah. So anyhow, it's a good point. I mean, this season is a write-off for me, but I'll take what I can get. And it's a little weird giving so many good and excellent performances for a 0-0, but to be honest, they were good performances, even if the result was a draw. Campagna, excellent. Campagna, Fernandez, Basket, Rampersad. Good. Mondway, Polisi, Jeremy Gagnon-Lapare, Jake Ruby. Poor. Salter. Sorry, my guy, but you had a bit of a stinker there. And crap, the security that was playing the role of steward for this match. And they're lucky they didn't get sent off before halftime. Not that security isn't fit to wear the shirt. They were a car crash. They completely stunk out the place. And they should be sacked in the morning, and I'm glad that they were sacked. And I say this to the club, who is doing what they can, both on and off the pitch, even in times of difficulty. They're doing a little. They pledged to do. They're pledging to sort that bit, the bit that happened after the game, out as best they can, including at a personal level. And one of the best, and one thing I suggest to them, carefully vet the next security bit that they do, because chances are it is going to have to be contractors. I wish the logistics were a little better than that, but it's not the kind of thing where you can really do that without without the kind of strong soccer infrastructures you see in some other places. Either way, that's that. Up the wah.